What's up, y'all? What's up?
What's up?
We're
We're
back.
back.
I got a big
Bam,
annoying
bam.
bar.
Big
I'm gonna
bang boom.
take that off for a second.
Bada bing, bada boom. It's Sean, Art Attack X, and me, Dan at React and Draw.
You need the code name too, bro. I don't know. We're gonna make you a code name. It's funny, like I just made like a screen name, and now everybody else recognizes it.
It
Oh
was
yeah,
Art
it's all the
Attack.
same.
Yeah, I don't have I need like a cool brand name. I have to think about it.
It's just something like I came up with, and like it just like stuck for some stupid reason. Now I'm Art Attack X. Like even if I want to change
Mhm.
it, I can't now. I was just stuck.
Yeah. Ninja Warrior 37.
It's like when Twitch streamers like come in and they just be like, like my man, his name was Ninja. Now he Ninja forever.
Yeah.
That's it.
Easier to remember than regular names, I guess.
And Carnets in the chat, he got corners for you. The Daminati, Illumidan,
Illuminadan, like Ludacris, he's not Illuminati, the Luda Naughty, like he said in his retort rap to Cat Williams.
I didn't see that entire rap. I forgot.
So Ludacris in some commercial, he was like hawking some kind of product.
Really
So I guess he's like super popular in the industry.
interesting.
I guess he's being able to parlay his success into like some long standing career somehow. Like, I mean, is he still selling albums? Does he still do that? Like,
He's still making albums.
I don't know. Who's in the chat? Incarnate in the chat. Are you buying like Ludacris albums?
Hold on.
He does Fast and the Furious movies, but is he doing anything else aside from that?
Let me type right now. Ludacris last album. Let's find out. It's very important things to know. You know what I'm saying?
I just remember back in the day, like it was years ago, like maybe like 20 years ago, he did that album Chicken and Beer or whatever it was, and
That was
that
the
was
name of it.
about that was about it. But apparently, Ludacris is still like blowing up.
Well, I'll have you know,
Okay,
Sir Daniel, that Ludacris is teasing new music for 2024, include according to Rolling Stone.
whoa,
You're not ready.
obviously not informed.
You're not ready for my man to come on stage with the Miss Marvel hands like he had in that video.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Incarnate is in the chat, and he says he just got a Luda ad advertisement, and he's saying that I'm in the Illuminati because he just got a Luda Chris ad.
Well, are
And
you
I just
serious, Uncle Carter? Are you
That's wild,
serious?
bro. I just mentioned Luda, and
Yo,
now he's got the
Twitch.
ad, bro. That's how deep the voice activation is. What else is it recording that I say? That's kind of wild.
I don't know. That's I remember one time way back in early in the Twitch adventures, and I was wearing my own shirt. Like it was an Anubis shirt, and then like I went on the net and they gave me my own Redbubble ad for my shirt.
Damn.
Yeah, it was really freaky. I had to show everybody on screen. I'm like, are y'all seeing this? This is kind of frightening. Over on YouTube, we got Power 900 said Ludacris hasn't done music since 2004, since 2014. Aside from that song Little John release versus Battle against T Pain. It had Luda, Little John, and Usher on the song. There you go. There's some lore for you. But yeah, according to Rolling Stone,
Damn.
he says rap legend who hasn't released the album since 2015 said he's plotting some new projects for 2024. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I don't. I might be wrong. I don't think people are gonna be flocking for Luda in 2024.
A Luda revival. He meant a lot to a generation, you know.
Yeah, I guess.
Nah, I really don't know. I'm just
Now he just means a lot of
saying
Fast and
things.
Furious, huh?
Right. I guess anyone who's lucky to be in Fast and the Furious gets to still maintain their level of celebrity. That's why Tyrese, he's like, you ain't never, ever, 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 ever gonna take me off this franchise. He's hanging on till grim death.
Yo, my man.
You know, whatever. Like the, if if the Fast and the Furious was like an airliner or like one of those fast cars they're driving, if the whole franchise was like one of those, Humvees that they drive all the time, he's on the side of the Humvee clinging on for dear life. Like they'll never be able to rid him of this franchise, bro. He's like, this is my life, bro.
You
Please don't
can't
take
take
me
me
out
off.
the game.
You can't take me off
Please,
this.
please, Pac, don't take me out the game. Can you blame him? Look at Luda. He's still around. Like just because he's in this movie, bro. He could
Yeah.
claim on his resume or whatever that he's been in like, I don't know, 7 blockbusters in a row. Of course, they're all Fast and Furious, but
I mean,
more than like what some other people who try Variety do. You know,
yeah.
like you have Batista. He could say he's in Guardians of the Galaxy, the #1 movie in America, and then he does like some streaming show, or then it's like, no one saw it, and he's trying to stretch his acting wings, and maybe no one sees it, and it's just like, meanwhile, Luda's just like, just call me the Fast and Furious. Just call me when that comes out.
Steady
What?
paycheck. Can do anything they say. Like Winston Zedmore and Ghostbusters 1, bro.
True. Speaking of Ghostbusters
Mm.
is coming back. They have the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire photos, promotional stills, and it looks like they got Bill Murray back in this, and they got some of the OG Ghostbusters in there, and Slimer, and the new cast. So for me, it's just going to be like, well, is it interesting? Is it a mystery, or they're gonna have to? I don't know.
I ain't gonna lie. I know exactly where you're coming from, but I don't know. I got nothing else to watch this year. Is it coming out this year?
Yeah, it was like, yeah,
I think I got. Ooh, this is gonna be a hot take. Maybe I don't know. I feel like I got more faith in like Ghostbusters than I do in Deadpool 3.
yeah, somehow,
I don't know why.
yeah, of like what's gonna, yeah, it's true, because like I don't know,
I don't know.
Marvel's in such a weird spot, and they're so micromanaging in all their projects that
They got the
I
original team for Daredevil, and I'm like, word.
right,
Can my
exactly.
man can my man eat through the insanity that is the Disney effect?
Uh, no. Well,
You
maybe
could
they're at a spot where
try.
they're like, just let these guys do whatever they want, like James Gunn, like they just let him do what he wants. Maybe they'll let Sean Levy and Ryan Reynolds do what they want. Meanwhile, everybody else gets micromanaged because they're like, that's their second film in their filmography.
Right.
I just don't know, bro, because it's like they want to fit it in with their multiverse, and I don't know, man.
It's like
Ghostbusters after 2016, they just said, "All right, Jason Reitman, just do whatever the hell you want." And
I'm trying to look at some of these Ghostbuster images.
yeah,
Oh, here we
and
go.
what else is coming out? It's a reboot, Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Oh yeah.
It's
They
on
had that like
Netflix.
whatever trailer.
Yeah, it was like filmed in like general movie film.
What was the last blockbuster, bro?
The last
Oh, oh,
blockbuster,
oh, oh
Oppenheimer and
yeah, yeah.
Barbie. And,
No, Top Gun, I guess.
yeah,
Okay.
I heard they're making Top Gun 3.
They want to. I don't know if they.
I mean, I guess it's like
Sorry,
I think Mission Impossible didn't do as well as they thought it was.
it didn't. I actually liked it, but it didn't do as well.
So maybe, and they spent a lot of money on it. So it's like maybe they're like, well, maybe Tom Cruise is like, now I gotta make Top Gun 3,
Well,
because if I don't, then I'm gonna lose my blockbuster streak. It
So
still made a lot of money though,
I
but I
was,
think they were expecting like the Top Gun 3 money. Now he actually has to make Top Gun 3.
well,
The thing is though, it's like he better be the star in it and do stuff. And I don't know how hard. I mean, what more mission training? Like it's gonna be the same movie again, where they train them up and up around, and then in the final like 30 minutes is the mission again.
I mean, I didn't see the movie, so
I guess this is now a Top Gun formula where they train and have a romance, and then he eventually has a romance. I guess they can give like the young kid that he was mentoring, Goose's son, a romance or something.
mm,
But I'm like, I don't know, whatever. But anyway, the topic for today is actually examining the comic book movie phenomenon, and does it really help comic sales? Because a long time ago, especially in the early 2000s, we were promised that, and by we, I mean comic book fans, comic book creators, that if Hollywood would just accept us and like us, and we had that sheen of respect
mm,
about us as a real, I don't know, certified art form or whatever by the elite, that once our movies are translated to Hollywood, we would become like our sales would explode 10 times. We would be sitting around in a gold house and a gold car, swimming around in the Scrooge McDuck money bin. Comic
right.
book artists. Did it happen? No, obviously it did not happen. Obviously, after a movie drops, I don't think when the Thor movie drops, I don't think there's a mob of people running into the comic store
No,
grabbing up copies of Thor. It's certainly, if there was a big supply for such things, the comic book industry would try to expand the supply chain to include, newsstands and, bodegas and spinner racks, put that back in, or like at least Walmarts and box stores and Dollar Generals, like they would like try and stuff it in there wherever people go, basically gas stations, anything that like a person might go into and look at stuff for more than 15 minutes. A comic book should be there, right?
on the technicality, yes. I mean, back in the day, we had aggressive advertising.
True. Like back in the day, comics were everywhere. They were just like in a bowling alley, in a gas station. It's just everywhere, littered with them. Long road trips. Parents would like go grab like a comic for their kid, throw it in the back, and say, "Read this."
Right.
Now it's like limited to the comic book store. Manga, I think I don't know if they still have those, but I remember seeing a picture of like manga is in a vending machine.
Really?
Yeah, and
That's
then you can like,
interesting.
put in $1 or whatever how much it costs and go get the magazine.
Hmm.
Of course, we have a low trust society now, so it's like they probably just break the machine and just take the copies out of the damn vending machine.
And oh, you mean like in? Well, I mean,
In this country,
in
yeah,
here, yeah. I mean, if you put it
yeah,
in New York or Cali,
right. But
it's
then again, we have things like Redbox where people like go to those little vending machines outside the Kmart and like put a dollars in, and then they get like the Redbox movie. So
true. I mean, do we still have those? That was a while back.
yeah, that was a while back. Things are changing, folks. But that's a debate we're having right now. Like these Spider-Man movies made billions of dollars, $1 billion, and in the comics, did it reflect? Or is it that the comic movies are helping, except the
Mm-hmm.
comic book industry isn't rising to the occasion? So, like when they do a Spider-Man No Way Home thing, when
Mm-hmm.
kids go and like ask for this comic book or order it off of Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
instead it's the Spider-Man Paul arc. they don't know where to begin because there's like different Spider-Man comics going on at the same time.
Yeah.
Like right now, there's a Spider-Man comic that's actually getting good reviews legitimately.
Hmm.
It's Jonathan Hickman Ultimate Spider-Man,
Oh, is the one where
a
they
new
actually
version of Spider-Man,
brought back his family or something?
where he has a family,
Hmm.
like 2 kids, and he's married to Mary Jane, and he's older. And I guess this is like a new version of Spider-Man
Hmm.
from scratch. So, and they like the fact that he is a family man and he's aged up a little bit, and they're giving the fans what they want. Of course, it's not like the official Spider-Man. It's a Spider-Man Elseworlds kind of story.
Yeah.
That's what the
Figured as
Ultimate line
much.
is about. But if you were just like a person in like a normie person and you wanted to start reading a Marvel comic, where would you start? It's just like when you want to read Spy X Family, like a manga, you want to read Jujutsu Kaisen, you just start with number one. There's no like spin-offs, there's no mini series, there's no. It just starts off at number one, drawn by the same dude, written by the same guy, up until like whatever volume 30 or whatever. Then it's over.
Well, I guess even in that, it's like it's not like the movies are still going to promote their haphazard comic um, timeline. They won't even bother.
Correct. Correct. Let me see what the chat has to say.
You
Karna says,
do
"What more
that.
do
I'll
they
be right
want
back.
from me?" Yes, that was Tyrese. Yeah, we're talking about Fast and the Furious a few minutes back, and yeah, that was Tyrese. That he needed that statement because he made that statement because he was getting sued by his ex-wife over child custody payments. So he's really relying on this Fast and the Furious franchise, and he breakdown. He like flipped out on Instagram Live saying, "What do they want from me?" Like he's going broke and stuff. Sad, very sad. Yeah, Redound Productions is here. He says, as a normie, when it comes to most comic stuff, I'm gonna say Hollywood has done little to help Marvel and DC in the best years. Yeah, best in the last 4 years. Well, yeah. I mean, look, they're not helping, but it's almost like they could give him a pity retweet, or they can have like the like I remember this guy Jimmy Palmiotti. He always talks about this, and I guess some people roast him over it in Twitter or whatever, saying stop looking to Hollywood, stop asking for favors, and never going to do any favors. But it is a question though of like they can't even get their celebrities to even hold up a comic book and say, "Hey, read this new issue," or even not even that. Like they don't have to do that, but like they don't even have like an ad running. Like when you go to the movies
Yeah.
and they have all these zillions of ads on the screen selling you junk like vacations. It's not even about like movie related stuff anymore. Vacations, mobile games, whatever it is, whatever junk they got in there. And then the trailers happen, and then the movie happens. Can't they run some comic book ads, like trying to sell you some graphic novel or something? Put up some ad money in like a bunch of AMC theaters before like Blue Beetle comes out or whatever, and say, "Hey, we got this Blue Beetle graphic novel or something." And
Are they too aware?
I don't know.
No, I
Or is it, is
mean,
it like is it like if I put this ad up, I'm just throwing money away because no one likes comics? But then why are you making a comic book movie? Why do you have a comic book business? It makes no sense. It's like if you don't think your advertisement's going to work and people don't want to buy comics, then why do you own a comic book company? It's like a fundamental question that like no one's asking or no one answers. Like when they make this Superman movie that James Gunn's talking about, and he has this guy Tom King on board or whatever, like I like comics, and he's holding up issues of the comic as he's talking, whatever. It's
mhm.
like, are you going to have the company run ads during the film? Like say, oh, we got this new Superman graphic novel we just made. It should be in
I
the, and if they really cared about comics, they would like say, oh, as part of the contract, you have to like have three as part of the movie, as part of taking the role. Uh, you have to at least do three endorsements of a graphic novel that we say, and then when they signed the dotted line to be Superman or whatever,
Hmm.
they, after they filmed the movie, they have to at least do three ad spots for like some, you know what I'm saying?
You know,
They do it for everything else, like like James
um,
Bond or something. He'll go promote like some watch that he wears in the movie or some car he's driving.
so I've always long, I mean, we've always long held this question, but I think, especially as of this year, at the time of 10:17 p.m. on this date, I think there's like a new answer. But before that, let's get to what was the last chat you were on?
Redoubt Productions, but so that's about his normie. He said there's little comic books. They haven't done much to help. Summer Baby says Mission Impossible doesn't make as much money because it came out around the time Barbie and Oppenheimer came out.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah, it was
so.
like a lot. Maybe it was like too much blockbuster stuff going on at once, and people one had to fall out of favor.
Yeah.
And
Um.
but I don't understand that because like it's not even the same demographics, right? Mission Impossible is like for like action people like action movies and fighting. Barbie is for the large female demographic, and then Oppenheimer is for like I don't know
Listen, man,
drama
they only
people.
had time for one. We doing with inflation. All right, cereal is
That's true. That's a lot.
$9 a box right now.
You had a point. You had a point. And this Mission Impossible movie, I think, was like had a giant budget
Yeah.
because like, and it's funny because you watch a movie like The Sound of Freedom,
Mm-hmm.
and the FBI office or the Homeland Security office
Mm-hmm.
is like just a dude in a room,
Mm.
like a small little room with a desk, and
They understood their
it's
budget.
it's like real cheap. And then you go to like the CIA office in Mission Impossible, it's like like 1,000 people typing on computers and a sweeping camera movement into like some room with some giant computer with like all kind of crazy interfaces and graphics and holograms like our background overlay drop in our channel right now. Like did the budget's out of control for some of these movies. So like if you look at
Supposedly
action
so.
movies from back in the day, like The Rock or like Bad Boys or any of that stuff, the budgets were like kind of like in the 100 million range, which I guess now they would consider the $200 million range. But it certainly wouldn't exceed like, $400 million. Let's see. Redoubt Production says, I also think it's up to the comic book industry itself to stay the course or drop the ball. While cinematic adaptations attract bigger audience, it's the comic writers themselves that dictate the story. Yeah, it's like you have to get a fan base by producing good work.
Well, hold on. Before we get into all that, because
Ideally.
once we get through the chat, I have some thoughts on
Okay.
that.
Some baby says Disney bought Marvel, so they are Hollywood and they don't care about their comics. Their comics are just an avenue to pick from for movies. And Nagi is here in the chat. Says, hey, Dan
So,
and Sean. Sup? Redoubt Productions says, I was the Oppenheimer crowd.
hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
Also, sometimes you get franchise fatigue. Like to see Mission Impossible 5, sometimes these things ebb and flow. Like I think Fast and the Furious, one of those things didn't do as well as the other.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah,
Like
fast.
after,
Yeah, the last one didn't do well, which is shocking. I'm like, fast. That's how I knew the world was ending. I was like, wait, Fast and Furious didn't make money. I'm like, oh man,
yeah,
we in trouble. So what I was gonna say. Sorry, I'm just sketching randomness here, yo. Trying to get better at my faces at all times. Uh Back in the day when at least the MCU was doing pretty good movies, right? We were still having the same conversation Dan and I and others. Like, why don't they promote the comic books? Now, the problem back in the day was even even with that question in mind, comic books have been kind of lackluster for a very long time. Even before some of these MCU movies came onto the scene. So it's like, yeah, they could promote the comic books, but then it's like, man, you gonna promote these trash storylines?
But I think it's trashed, and now we're promoting. They might as well fold up.
I
I mean,
mean,
and also, what would they know about what's trash when their content is trash? The films and the movies are getting to be pretty bad as well.
well, I mean, but see, that's what I was saying. This is what I was
You
getting to.
right,
During the era of like, your Infinity Wars, your Winter Soldiers, your Iron Man, those were superior to the comic books at that time because the comic books were off and on. Like there was some good stories happening, and there were some
well,
bad stories happening.
oh, you mean at the time those movies were out?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The like at the time these movies would come. At the
Oh
time these
yeah,
movies were coming out, like people were trying to cook up the Dan Kibblesmith New Warriors. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
And the Captain America is
Yeah, is
he
Captain
has
America is now a Hydra and all kinds of
right,
nonsense was going on. But the movies were better because the movies were pulling from the older school stories.
right.
But now,
Or even like the stories that were not old, but at least in the recent memory, like Civil War and the Winter Soldier.
yeah.
Yeah,
But now we have come to some kind of they have equalized their quality to this, and now comic books are equal to the movies. Now I know some would argue it's like, no, there's good storylines going on in comics, and I'm sure there actually are. I don't really have the urge to run out and go read them. Like the next book that I want to read that has nothing to do with Marvel DC is I want to go finally read The Last Ronin.
well, that's yeah, that's Ninja Turtles. So it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why I said that has nothing to do with Marvel DC. On Marvel and DC side, I
thing. The problem is that um when you have a universe like Marvel and DC,
mhm,
if you have like a handful of cringe books, it still hurts the overall line because they're it's part of a brand. It's part of a universe.
right.
So if like 4 or 5 of them are like embarrassingly bad, it like makes you not want to try the others for some reason because it's all tied into like it's like if getting a it's like buying a soft drink and saying like, "Oh, it has only 10% poison." Like no one would drink it because
Right.
10% of poison will still kill you. And that's how they feel about the brand. It's almost like if comic book companies were handled more like traditional publishing companies,
Hmm.
then it would have less of that problem, I guess. Like if they were siloed into their own thing. Like
I.
people still would buy Harry Potter books and
Hmm.
still buy like, like things like that.
Right.
Like if all the book like if you had a book publisher and they had like Game of Thrones and Harry Potter, they were selling those books.
Yeah.
Those books would still sell and people wouldn't just say, "Oh, I'm not buying like whatever Penguin books or whatever." No one thinks of it like that, like the publisher. You just think about like, do I like the author or not? But with these comic book universes, you get like one or two embarrassing books that, and then suddenly it's like you don't want to touch the whole line because you think like that stuff is just as bad.
And it's like, well, the movies like double down supremely hard, and they started taking the things in the comic book industry that we didn't want to see and put them
Right.
in live action. And I'm like, listen up.
But what I don't understand is that they took it to be a movie. They took the ideas from the comic books that are not great,
Mhm.
and then they didn't promote the comics that they took the ideas from. kind of weird.
So, do you remember? I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, and they were trying to say somebody from the industry claims that Marvel and DC judge up these stories just on purpose, just to get a backlash reaction. Now, I can't claim that. I can't claim that. But it just feeds into your question of like, well, if they believe in their story so much of these subpar, what the fans would deem as subpar, and adapt it for live action, why don't they in turn give props to the original comic stories that were subpar, since they believe it's great? Now, if this person from the comic industry says what he says is true, then I guess they're just doing everything out of spite. But I don't know how you make money out of spite. Uh, I don't think that's ever worked ever. Maybe it's worked
I don't
in
know.
maybe it's
Everybody,
worked in certain occasions. And I'm not
everybody says,
claiming that that's the reason either. I'm just
yeah. I mean, I guess some people come up with their 3D chess galaxy brain, hypothesis on what's going on, but I kind of just take it as a one-to-one thing where maybe they don't promote it because it's not available enough anywhere. Because at the end of the ad that they would run,
mhm.
where would they say like go pick it up at your local comic book store?
The one
And
that's
then some
closing down.
right, and some normies like, well, where's mine in my neighborhood? It's like hard to find. They make these objects very difficult for young people to find
Right.
or older people. They'd have to go Google. They have to tell them go Google your
Yeah, go Google your local comic book store. I don't know.
yeah.
Or
You
find
get
it
an
on
ad. It's
Amazon.
like, oh, if ask
Buy it
for a
off the
call.
Marvel site.
That's true. Yeah, go to www.marvel.com, right?
That's where I
And
bought what was it, Miles Morales store?
available at Amazon. Available at Amazon retailers, Barnes and Noble, Amazon. They'll order it for you. They might not have it in the store, but they'll have it on the website. Order it, pack it up, ship it.
Yeah.
It really is no big deal. I mean, they're making this stuff. They might as well try and how much is an ad buy for like a movie theater? It can't be that crazy.
That I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you.
They got like real estate people selling like, I don't know, hey, get a house from this guy. Like, what I'm saying? It can't be that crazy. I mean, especially for like a billion-dollar corporation like Disney.
Hmm.
And sometimes like they'll spend money on things that are like lost leaders just to have a prestige, just to like bolster things to make them look important to
Yeah.
the press for other things, you know.
I don't know.
And like they put on TV shows just to hopefully get an award. Like HBO put on shows, like Lena Dunham's Girls and things like that. But I think like the actual rating of these shows were like maybe like in the 100,000 stuff like that, like CW level ratings.
Hmm.
But they put these things on and hope to like affect the culture and like I don't know, maybe get an award or something. So they can't toss in like I don't know 50 grand just to like run a few ads somewhere.
Now I'm sure somebody
100
would
grand.
come and tell us, like, "Damn, Sean, of course they're doing it out of spite." That like they say it all the time. Like, if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. And if you don't, if you don't, the writers are yelling at people. So what do you think is going on here? And I'm like, probably, but let's pretend I'm not me, right? And I'm an investor.
Yeah.
And I sit down in a meeting. I want you to sell me on why these tales, these adaptations would sell. Like, how they gonna sell me on it? Like, as a businessman, like, I don't care about yelling at fans and all of that. I'm a businessman right now. I want to put my money into X amount of DC or Marvel productions. Sell me. What they got? What are they gonna tell me? That's the part I'm confused on, because they're a business, right? Like, these people are they're registered corporations, are they not? Like,
I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure how the new economy works. I know the old economy was like give people what they want to see, they buy it, and If they
Yeah,
don't want it, you stop making it. I know that. I know that one, but this one, I don't know.
like I don't know if I'm sitting
But it's
down.
funny. Like for move. Sorry, go ahead.
If I'm sitting down and they trying to tell me, it's like, well, we got this storyline, right? Where Spider Man, he goes through a portal and he comes back, and his wife, Mary Jane, is now married and has kids with some dude named Paul. And it's like, okay, okay, interesting. This is a new take. Uh, I might want to put my money behind this. So, what was the public reception of the first issue? Did oh they hated it. They all hated it. Oh, they're online, like, bashing me, and I had to go on and tell them, like, guys, calm down. You don't know where this story's gonna lead. Oh, okay. How's the sales in that? All right, I guess. Come back next month. So they like the Paul thing yet? Oh no, they hate it even more. I'm like, and we decided to like off Miss Marvel, and they hated that even more. Like, at what point I would be like, so why are you doing this, businessman Sean? I'm asked them, why are you doing this? What's the answer? I want to know what the answer is gonna be.
Yeah, and they have a movie coming out, right? Like they have the Marvels coming out. So why is Miss Marvel is dead close to the release of the movie?
See, this is where the confusion comes in. Like,
And then when she came back to life, she didn't have the powers that the Marvel Miss Marvel had in the show. I thought they were going to kill her off, have her be resurrected to be more in line with the movie TV version of Miss
I mean,
Marvel.
that's what I thought was gonna happen.
Kind of weird. Kind of weird. Some baby in the chat says they don't believe in the products they put out. Yeah. In other companies, there could be a disconnect between the execs and the guys making the movies. I guess so. When you have like a large corporation, they might not know what one person's doing or care what the
Yeah.
other people are doing. They
But
just maybe they have a guarantee like I will never shut this thing down.
well, then they
I will
had that
never
thing
shut
with
down Marvel Comics, so do whatever you want.
maybe then they had that rumor that like they was trying to say Kevin didn't know what was going on with the with Blade or something.
Kevin Feige didn't know what's going on with the Blade movie.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's what they try to imply or something. Don't know if any of that is true. By the way, it's now obviously, yo. I'm playing. I'm talking in jest of sorts because I've seen all the threads of writers saying, "Ah, don't buy my book if you don't like me," and all of this kind of talking back to the fans. But I just, for one moment, just want to think about this in a true business aspect. How any of this can be any good? How you could put these stories out, people don't really vibe with them, and then tell yourself, "Awesome, we're gonna adapt that into movies." I don't know of any business that is trained to do that. If I went to business school,
Yeah, it's kind of like on some level, I guess the way business works is the demand. You have supply and demand,
mm,
and the demand comes from the supply, right? Because no one knows what they really want until it's presented to the public. You can do like some A/B testing, or you can float some things out, but no one knew they wanted a PlayStation until they made one.
mm-hmm,
No one really knew they wanted the microwave until they put it out, but they're like, "Oh, is this thing safe? Can this really heat up my thing?" And it's expensive. I don't want to try it. It's going to cost me a lot of money. I'm not going to make that leap. But a few do. They're like, "I'll get the microwave," and then they tell other people, and they tell
mm-hmm.
their friends, and then eventually the cost of microwaves go down because it's so popular and everybody has one, so they can afford to lower the price. That's usually how it works, but
You,
it's not like people demand things and then the supply magically appears. Maybe for some things, like for a need.
you know who they think they are? This just came to me. They think, before I get into that, let me read the rest of the comments. Where do you leave? Oh, Some review on the Twitch side say it, in other companies there could be a disconnect between execs and the guys making the movies. Oh, you might have
Right.
read that. I didn't. Power says the Zebwell storyline. Yeah, Paul, the greatest character of all time. Paul. And he says, and now that line is doing what ifs. One example is having Mary Jane as Green Goblin off Gwen Stacy in order for Peter to stay with her. Okay. Uh, really? That's what we're doing? All right. I mean, that's a what if. I guess it don't count. No what if is greater than Miles Morales, though. Some baby says, I don't think execs care about comic books or know they were important at one point. Maybe. I mean, they should care, though, right? I mean, this.
That's true. Maybe they're trying to phase it out surely but surely. Like,
And just cancel everything.
you just
It's
cancel it
just
all. But
painful.
yeah, it's painful process of torturing people and their writers and their artists, paying them next to nothing, and they get no credit, no cred or no clout. Like, just end this whole thing and just make movies out of whole cloth. Like, what about Spider-Man, the game? They're just writing their own like mythology at this
Yeah, they
point.
got their own game. Do y'all? Well, I don't. I wasn't gonna go over spoilers, but it's like completely like not what it's supposed to be or something. Um. Oh, so
But
speak. Sorry,
yeah,
go ahead. You were gonna say something.
no, I was just gonna go back to my other point about the economics. It's uh, like you take educated guess on what people want to see, and then you put it out there, and then it flops or not. But these corporations don't have to have a crystal ball. They have like more tools than you or I. Like, they can say, well, this product was popular in another form. If I
Hmm.
make a movie about it, it should be a success. So they have like some kind of crystal ball in that aspect. It may not be always correct, but at least they could do that. And they did back in the day when like Civil War was a popular storyline.
Yes.
The Winter Soldier was a popular storyline. The origins for these comic book movies were popular storylines that Stan Lee and like whatever Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko came up with, right?
Hmm.
Those sold. Those sold. Those are storylines that people remember. It was previously adapted into cartoons and animated video games from back in the day, right?
Yeah.
They're proven sellers. Let's do it again, right? Meanwhile, they're adapting things that flopped, things that had a negative reaction. But instead, they choose to not listen to the negative reaction and just listen to the fans on Twitter that gave it a bunch of likes.
For virtual signal points.
And they're like, I'll invest, whatever, millions of dollars in this Miss Marvel storyline. But it's like, it wasn't like a huge seller. I mean, maybe in the beginning it was a huge seller because it was a new number one and a new character.
Yes.
But over time, it's like, or even Captain Marvel, same deal.
Yeah.
It's like, do we really like this Captain Marvel comic? He's getting canceled and rebooted and canceled and rebooted. Like, you look at a character like Daredevil, it's still here.
Yeah.
Still here. Still a comic book after all these years. Still sells. I mean, maybe it had some dull spots, some not a lot of, it wasn't a consistently a good seller, but it still trucked along and had peaks and valleys. Meanwhile, like Captain Marvel is just like DOA. Like, it's not a, can't even say really like, oh, we had like 100 issues, but then after issue 101, it started to dip. Like, Captain Marvel can't even get past like what, issue 15 or something like that. I don't really know. Like, there's no one storyline that you can point to and say this Captain Marvel storyline has like changed the face of the game. Like, even Daredevil, you could say that. Captain America, same thing.
Yeah. So
X-Men.
I was just thinking about
So why adapt that?
maybe this. I'm probably wrong on this. Do they think they're like CD Project Red? Okay, so we all know about the whole fiasco that was Cyberpunk 2077, right? And it came out and it was highly unfinished, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the sales were like at that time, but there was a lot of complaints, people trying to get refunds. This, that, and the third. Flop, or it was, I want to say flop, it was like flopping. And then they start making it better, actively listening to fans. Foreign concept for Marvel DC, maybe. Listening to fans, building it up. And then when it came time to branch out into other media, because they started off as a video game, now it's time to make an anime. And the anime hits. The anime hit so well that it drove them back to the game. Except CD Projekt Red allowed for the cross promotions between the game and the anime. So much so that you can go into the game and you could get items that you saw in the anime. Like, oh, get David, get Dave, the main character David's jacket. See where this character used to live because the anime is like a prequel, right? And then on their website, they'll still promote like, hey, you guys, like, if you didn't watch the anime and you're now playing the game, which is now fully updated, you should go watch this anime. Like, it's going to streak now, and I think if I might, I should look this up, but I believe the sales are growing. Let me see. I don't want to say that just to say it. Cyberpunk 2077 sales growth. So if I could confirm this, right? My question is, do Marvel and DC think that what's it, 20 million unit 25 million units sold? What is this? 13 days ago. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty reveals big sales. Phantom Liberty is their DLC.
Yeah. I mean, by all accounts, it looks like the game was fun to play. It just had bugs in it.
Yeah. I mean,
People were just upset
some of
about
the
the
bugs
bugs.
seem to be game breaking, and I bought it late, so I can't say like how unplayable it used to be or if it was. I know right
But
now it's 100% playable. I've only encountered two bugs.
but it's a game that people wanted to play because it looked cool.
Yeah,
They had
people
a
wanted to
problem
see
because of
it.
the right.
Th-
So if they
th-
fix it, maybe they have a chance of playing it. But if like you watch or play like I don't know the Avengers game that flopped, remember they just took it off of the Sony website, but you can't even
Uh,
buy it or download it. Remember
yeah. Wait, was that what? Did they take that? Was it that game?
that they moved off the cloud servers? I think it was the Avengers game with Miss Marvel and
Yeah, I think so. I know they also did that with the Saints Row
right.
game.
So there was still interest in like I guess the cyberpunk game
I mean, because it's
regardless.
mad cool. Like it's a cool setting, a cool genre.
Right.
They try to do
And
a
it's
cool story, and
and it was based off of like, the pen and paper RPG that people played when they were young and it was a seller. They had like different, they sold different books and campaigns for it, even though it wasn't like really, being done now, but it's still a popular genre, at least in the video game realm and all
yeah.
this.
And you're right, by the way.
Right.
Yeah. Say goodbye to Marvel's Avengers has been delisted.
Right.
Oh,
And it's funny because they own all this stuff. It's the same thing with Star Wars. It's like they have a rich source of material of things that actually sold. Maybe it wasn't selling like on the level of like some blockbuster movie or something, but at least it was selling in some other form.
right.
Like if you take an old Iron Man comic from a 1970s run
Yeah.
that, hundreds of thousands of, people across the country owned at one time,
Hmm.
maybe in the millions. Maybe take a story from there instead of like making up your own or I mean that's why you buy a company just to like have a resource so you don't have to work as hard.
Right.
It's like Star Wars, like they bought like Lucasfilm and they had a rich source material of all these books from the extended universe, both written and in comic books and graphic novels and video games, and they used none of it. It was like, what was the point of like, should ask for a discount when they bought it. It says we're actually not going to use anything you made except for the movie. So can I get like 50% off? Said they bought the whole thing at some, ridiculous price, and then it's like, okay, and we're not going to use it. It should have been the easiest brand to be making, especially now they have AI to like write their scripts and stuff. You just feed in the comic book. I don't know how you do it. You just scan it in and shove it into the AI supercomputer,
Right.
and it should poop out like whatever. Knights of the Old Republic, the movie. It should poop out like some storyline. It should poop out Heir to the Empire, like animated series. You just like shove in Heir to the Empire or those Prince Zizor books or whatever. You just shove them in to the computer. You feed it into the front of the computer, scan it in. Then the AI man will generate, whatever. Young Luke Skywalker fighting Prince Zizor. But that didn't happen. They're just gonna now not do that. Anyway, so that was our take. I mean, like, so what was the conclusion of this? Like, what did we?
Well, I guess the inevitable conclusion. I mean,
Do they help? I guess not.
They don't help. I mean, they don't.
Even when they were successful, they didn't help really.
Right. When they were successful, they didn't help. But now it's getting worse. Like I'm getting bad reviews from Echo. So I'm like, now you got combos that nobody want to see, and you're doing shows that nobody want to see. It's getting to the point where it's like, I don't know, people are talking about like these shows and these movies. Like you got Marvel, you got the Marvels, you got Echo and Ant-Man. It's like they hate it more than the comics now. So now they can't cross promote.
Right.
So my question is, what's next? Now I know they got like some of the showrunners from like Daredevil to work on Daredevil Born Again. Mm-hmm. And I guess that's supposed to help save it, but I'm like, will it? Now I hope that Born Again is fire as the original Daredevil show was. I don't think it's. I mean, maybe. I don't know if that'll work.
Some baby in the chat says on Twitch, she says, apparently they're making Star Wars What If episode. They're maybe making.
Oh, come on.
And I'm like, bro, oh no. Now it's like multiverse. Maybe they'll do a Star Wars multiverse. Then like Luke could live or die. And I'm just like, I can't do with this. Like Disney really doesn't know. I think Disney really, like whoever was staff there, made a business decision to buy it, but the people, the creative side within Disney had no interest in making it. They're interested in like making their, social activist movies, and they're interested in making cartoons about, animals and princesses and kingdoms and, Nickelodeon type comedies for like the Disney Channel, things like that. The most adventure they get is like an Kim Possible or reboot or something. That's as big as they get. Not like, a little more edgier, teenage, boy entertainment. They're not interested in that, but they did their best. They like and this is what they came up with. Like. And this is what they came up with, but it's like, why? It's like, I'm not going to look through the whole Star Wars canon to find out what stories were good in this franchise. I'm not some nerd. And it's like, well, I'm going to make up my own thing. And it's like, well, if you're not going to do research like a nerd, why do you have the biggest nerd franchise of all time? Why do you buy the biggest?
They pulled a Miles Morales, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm going to do my own thing.
Yeah, I'm going to do my own thing.
Okay.
It used to be before. They used to have now they just change it. They just change it to be whatever they want at the time. And that's not just comic movies or anything. That's everything.
Like, no, yeah, of course.
I couldn't even watch a bunch of cutscenes to find out what the game was about. They were just like, nah, I'm just making my own storyline. Where Master Chief is really not really the focus. It's a bunch of like generals whining about their family drama.
as the same they did with Echo, apparently.
Right. Yeah, apparently she has like, one of those abuelas and stuff, and it's a bunch of like she's doing karate. I saw some clip where like her grandma was like, trying to hit people. And I'm just like, this is what they're into. But it's what Disney's really about, really. Like Disney was never really known for like the most actiony they got was like Tron, actually. That was it. That was it though. And
Speaking of which,
they could even
this I looked through Disney Plus today,
yeah.
and there's some show. Don't get me to remember what the name about it is, but it's about like some dude who is possibly entangled with some gilf
Really?
in the search for like I don't know sex. They see the word sex. I was like,
Is it a show?
yes. I'm like, why is this on? Give me a
Dude's
second.
trying to get on
I'm not
trying
gonna.
to
I'm
get
not
on
gonna.
with
I'm
it.
not. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna put the app on. Let me take my. I just want to find out what the heck the name. I was looking. I was like, what is this? I was very confused.
Some baby says apparently they're making Star Wars. Oh yeah, right. She says I don't think they brought the showrunner from Netflix's Daredevil. They never asked him to come back. He said that he wouldn't do it.
Oh, is that the story? Okay.
Power 900 says they already tried to reboot Kim Possible with a movie and it was bad. It's just that we're losing the kind of uh losing the plot. Usually corporate franchises, corporate IP should not really be this hard to make.
At all.
You just churn stuff out like at a clip. You buy all these Harry Potter books to adapt these Harry Potter books. It was like the easiest thing. It's not easy per se, but it's like already got a formula.
Right.
Get the book, get some screenwriter to adapt the book. If he had a hit, just have him write another one. Get a director to work with the same cinematographer so it all looks the same and just churn out one every year with these kids. So we have 12 blockbuster hits in a row and I can go to bed happy because I ain't at least working that hard on the concept of it. But when it's like, oh, I'm not going to use any of the source material from stuff I bought and I got to come up with ideas in the next 5 minutes and I'm gambling with like, I don't know, $7 billion worth of revenue expectations. I'm like, why? Why is Kevin Feige having to like make up some storyline about Kang? He should just get a random Kang comic book and do that.
Definitely.
Like, why is he even have to think about this stuff? He's afraid we're gonna get spoiler alerts from the comic books. Did anybody get spoiled? Did anybody care that Game of Thrones books were already published and we're spoiling it from the books? Like no one cared about that. Harry Potter books, the books were released like always like 2 years before the movies come out, and they were like, you think people were really like, nah, let's change the storyline because the book is gonna spoil it from the movie? No one cares. Do they have like maybe they have just a low regard of like comic book writing that they think it's like not as sophisticated as a movie script, which is kind of ridiculous because these comic books, especially the older ones, are written at a higher grade level than these movies scripts.
Right.
Trust me, an Ant-Man comic book from like years ago is written like probably at a what is now considered a collegiate level compared to what these movies are offering.
By the way, that thing I was looking for, I didn't find it, but I found something else, and I think this is because they have a collaboration with Hulu.
Yeah, they own Hulu. And
And,
they're
and
separate entities, and Hulu basically is just like I don't know some kind of way station or some holding ground for for old TV shows and random films. So it's actually pretty decent. And anime, they have like a deal with Crunchyroll, so they have like some of the content from Crunchyroll on there.
right.
So it's actually not a bad network because they don't try enough to be annoying.
I mean, okay, that's fine, and I'm not exactly sure how they're categorizing everything across the like if you were to tell me, like I would put stuff that should be on Disney Plus and stuff that should be on Hulu and Hulu, even though I both own it all. But I could go to Disney Plus apparently and watch a Hulu show called Sex Appeal, in which the script rated R description. Oh, this is a movie, I guess. Avery Hansen White doesn't do things. She doesn't do things she isn't excellent at. So when her long distance boyfriend hints at wanting to take their relationship to the next level at the upcoming STEM conference, she sets out to master her sexuality.
Oh man.
Disney Plus. They also have a show called Three Ways.
You know what I think it is? It's like, I guess if you own Hulu, maybe if it's like if you have a Hulu subscription and a Disney Plus subscription, you can access Hulu through Disney Plus instead of switching between the apps. Sort of like how Amazon, they'll let you subscribe to some other service, but you still
Maybe.
stay in the Amazon platform, and everybody still gets their money. So it's probably like that. Like some person
Probably.
owns a Disney thing and they own the Hulu thing, and they could probably put some parental lock or something if they don't want if they want to block it or not. Although it's hilarious that that option even
That
exists.
option is here. You could also watch OnlyFans selling sexy.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Like you want to keep the brand separate. You would even
the
want Disney Plus to
secrets
be so
of
successful.
Playboy. I'm still on the Disney Plus app, bro. Like,
But it's like I guess
I mean,
it's
I guess I understand what you're saying. It's just
yeah, but they claim that they're just we're a family company and we can't even curse in our movies and we can't even Deadpool. It was gonna be PG-13 at one point, and I'm like, get real, stop pretending. You bought all these properties, like anyway.
interesting. Let me
Power 900 says they think that Bruce Timm, Paul Dini, and Dwayne McDuffie, RIP, are about they're not when they're what's it say? Creating a new world buried on based off the old world from the 2020s. Yeah, it's tough because a lot of the people that left these companies were talented
Yeah.
and they left. You could say they left because of controversy. You could say because they left because they got better job offers somewhere else. But either way, they left. Okay. Like James Gunn is at DC now. He left. But before that, he was canceled because of that other controversy. But in the meantime, he still had whatever, like Jon Favreau on deck, I guess. But then he went to Star Wars world after like Iron Man or 2 wasn't, hitting or something.
Right.
Now they probably pray for like Iron Man 2 type success.
But
And what else? The Joss Whedon, of course.
yeah.
Avengers 2. They are like no more of this or something. And meanwhile, they probably pray for him to come back, even with the controversy that he suffered.
By the way,
But at the end of the day, like regardless of what people think about these people, they knew how to write. Like Jon Favreau knows how to write.
right.
He does. He know how to write swingers. He know how to write whatever Maid and Elf and all that. Whatever. He knows what he's doing. Like what I mean. Joss Whedon, right? He basically, they could say his style of writing was, I don't know, bastardized or popularized to like every show now has to have some quip or quirk in them or whatnot.
Move things with your freaking mind.
Yeah, move things with my freaking mind. This is like people trying to ape like Joss Whedon's like style of cadence of his dialogue poorly. But I watched Buffy, I watched Angel, I watched he's better at what he does than his imitators.
Oh, definitely.
And he's better at plotting than a lot of his imitators. And he knew how to hire people like him to write. Like if people like Daredevil, they should be thanking Joss Whedon for giving Steven DeKnight a gig on Angel and Buffy, because he found that guy.
Oh, there you go. I didn't
He found
even
him.
know.
He found David Fury. He wrote. He got a lot of people that went on to write their other favorite shows. That's probably why he got the gig. He was like, "Oh, I used to write on Angel with Joss Whedon." I was like, "Oh, really? Okay, cool. I want all your writers." He's probably recommending the writers to the Marvel people,
Right.
and that was their favorite era of Marvel. But now that connection is severed, now they severed all the other connections. They're like, Now I can get a person who wrote an episode of The Proud Family to write, I don't know, the next $300 million Marvel epic, and I don't think it's gonna work. I'm just saying it's not gonna work.
By the
They're not
way,
familiar with genre storytelling. They're not familiar with comic books. They're not familiar with sci-fi.
mhm, I just want to say to keep the conversation fair,
Yeah, I'm
because
trying to keep it fair.
because I mean, most of this conversation we were going at Marvel, because Marvel is doing the most right now. But DC has had their fair share of
Oh yeah, especially
oh
now.
my goodness, like I mean, but I
I'm
will
sure.
say
Yeah.
this is gonna sound weird, and I'm gonna circle back. Marvel has had a better track record with the MCU, clearly, than DC has had. Their standalone stuff, like like the Batman, trilogy, Dark Knight trilogy, good. I don't know. They usually try to attempt to knock Batman out the park, but then okay, sorry. What I was let me stop being around the bush. What I was gonna say is, I kind of slightly have more faith currently in DC than I do in Marvel,
Mhm.
entertainment wise. Which is strange to say because Marvel was knocking it out of the park until Thanos snapped entertainment out of out of their soul or something.
Right.
Now, come on. I mean, DC's had some of the worst. I mean, they had what was that show that we didn't watch? We watched like the first episode, the Gotham Knight show, with like
Yeah.
they
Oh
made
yeah.
up a son, a adopted son for Batman. Horrible
Yeah.
writing, horrible action.
Horrible.
Like incomprehensible. That was bad. And then I know they had a bunch of shows that I didn't watch. The
Yeah.
Batwoman show and
Yeah. All this stuff like kills brands. Like by 1,000 cuts. Just like boom, like Batwoman's bad. Gotham Knights bad. These things eventually like build up to be like, I want to watch the CW.
yeah. But all that to say, oh, the Birds of Prey, terrible, terrible. Suicide
Oh,
Squad.
right. It was like,
Yeah,
yeah, the second one was better than the first,
yeah.
but it was like the first one was still like not good.
No,
It had
it
problems.
had elements of things that could have been cool, but they missed the mark.
Right.
Oh,
They claim the director claims that the director's cut is fantastic and all this, but they won't even release that.
right.
So they're failing
Then you had
again.
the Snyderverse, and that had its own problems, and I mean, cool visuals, but however,
It's like you make this movie and then Superman is like doesn't show up until the last third of the film because he's dead. It's just like, bro, he took weird liberties with the ideas.
it
And they were
would.
put in a position where they're like, well, let's release this 4-hour movie filmed in portrait mode from Instagram. Like it's filmed in square. Like it's kind of like Zack Snyder wanted it filmed in a square format.
For some reason.
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
But I will say, I don't know, it's a 50-50. I was about to, it's like James Gunn seems on a 50-50 chance, like, at least with like Superman and Batman, that he wants to portray some stories that people might want to see. Now, I know he has some other wacky ideas, like, I don't know, I don't care about seeing an Amanda Waller project. I,
Yeah. Like, what is that? Like,
I
dude,
don't know,
we're like,
that's weird. Like,
it's trouble time, okay? Like, we don't want to make the Waller show. Like, come on. Like, just give us the hits. Just give us like Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman. Let's just start there and then see what happens after that.
so, to my statement, I'm not saying that the his DC projects are gonna be fire. I'm just saying that I have slight bit more hope in those. When I say hope, I don't mean like, oh, I can't wait until like I'm not really. I'm just saying I feel like they might be a little better.
Yeah.
But that's about it. You might have a better chance because Marvel they're lost. They're lost there right now. They're lost. They don't know what they're doing. And I technically they
Oh
lost
yeah,
James.
definitely at
Yeah.
this point because at least James Gunn knows how to write. He wrote the
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy for Marvel.
Right,
Like they
right,
don't
right.
have their guy. Like who's the replacement for James Gunn over at Marvel?
I don't know. Whoever's doing Echo, I don't.
Yeah, it's like
Whoever's doing.
She-Hulk wrote some Rick and Morty episodes with like a staff.
Which, by the
Like,
way, I believe we covered this slightly, but yeah, apparently the reports are saying that She-Hulk can't come back because Disney doesn't want to spend their money on it.
yeah, exactly. Hold on, I'll be back. Hang it out.
All right. But I think I talked about that yesterday. With I'm just, I'm just like, but why? But why? I think that was probably like the last Marvel thing I consumed in whole, and I'm just like, come on, guys, make it. Just make it. Make the movie. The movie. Make the show. Make the show. Make it. I'm not gonna watch it, but make it. I just want to see what's gonna happen. What's the problem? What the? What was the problem? And they can't blame me. I actually gave them the ratings. So I actually gave them me personally, me Sean. I actually gave them the I gave them the spark in which to go forth and make a season two, and they wasted my watch hours. I don't appreciate that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. So go make it. I help them. Nah, they don't appreciate my help. They don't want to make a season two. What kind of stuff is this? And do it with the same writers too. The exact same writers. On the exact same formula. But they're not gonna do it now. So what are they gonna do? They're just gonna stick her in like the next Avengers movie or something? She Hulk will be back in the I don't
Who wants to watch this?
I definitely don't. I already sat through it and I was done. She Hulk had me done for Marvel in its entirety. I was just like, you know what? I'm bowing out. I'm good.
I mean, I would just get anybody who's familiar with sci-fi and had a track record. I don't care how young or old they are. I would just say who's going to be the new guy, because apparently, I guess Kevin Feige was not the the genius behind Marvel's success. I guess now that he's flying by solo without his homies anymore. Now
Yeah.
he's like in charge of coming up with these whatever. Like he's hiring the new people, and these people have like no familiarity with comics or scripts or whatever. Same thing as Star Wars too. It's like we were hiring like people who direct documentaries to make
They should
Star
just
Wars
double
movies.
down. They should get the person who's going to direct the new Star Wars Ray movie and
Right.
have a right for Marvel as well.
Yeah. I would get like J. Michael Straczynski. Like at least he wrote comic books. At least he wrote like the real Ghostbusters cartoon. At least he wrote Babylon 5.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's probably like 70 years old or whatever, but like, so what? Like, he's 70 years old. Deal with it. Like, Bob Iger is like 70 years old too. So the guy that does his research, at least he'll hire like staff people who will do a good job,
Right.
or at least a coherent job. Maybe the movies don't have to be like, 5 stars, 10 out of 10 on IGN, but can they at least be like an 8 out of 10,
Right.
7 out of 10? Maybe it won't have the quirky, quippy dialogue and the, the, what they call it, acerbic wit and the edgy humor of like a James Gunn project. But, at least it'll be like something that's like makes sense, fun, interesting.
Right.
Maybe have a plot twist or misdirection once or twice. Just hire like J. Michael Straczynski. He'll like, actually do the research and read the comic books, because that's what old writers used to do.
Right.
Not try to like make up some new thing and say, oh, just because it's diverse, I don't have to make it good. He would actually like try to make it good, and it would have diverse whatever. And then it's not that hard, but there's a lot of clout chasing in Hollywood right now. They're trying to get like a youth market, so they're hiring like anybody who can convince them that they're just young. I'm just young and in the zeitgeist. I'm a young person with a TikTok. Hire me.
That's
Plus,
a,
in Hollywood, it's like you could be just one of many writers on a sitcom and just
mm-hmm.
put that on your credits, and then you'll be like, "Whoa, you're a genius! You worked on The Simpsons." And it's like, yeah, well, 30 writers work on The Simpsons. As long as like you're sitting there, like, you know, taking notes, and you get to be known as a genius. Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Let me go to the comments. Power says, a Suicide Squad game got people pissed with fun side. Yeah, that was weird. That was not the line to use. That was weird. I don't even want to get it. It was just weird.
It seems like everyone's doing their own thing, right? Like Suicide Squad, the game's doing their own thing, and then
Yeah,
the
it's on.
movies doing their own thing, and then the comics do their own thing, and animated series do their own thing. It's like all separated.
It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, it is annoying. It's like they all think like, well, I'm gonna be the. It's like they're all competing with each other to say who's gonna be the best Suicide Squad thing.
And then it's like, I guess they, I mean, these games, they're like big budget what ifs.
Right. Yeah, yeah, they all are. But like in Japan, it's like, oh, the manga is like basically a one-to-one translation to the comic. I mean the anime. The manga and the comic are related. If they made a video game, it would be related to the anime
Right.
mostly. And if they made a live action thing, it would be mostly related to the anime. But it's all the same, kind of similar.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, over here, it's like, oh, we got Spider-Man has its own saga, and
like you go over here, you think you know about Venom. Now he's Harry. I'm like, all right, bro.
yeah, I'm just like, it's like too inside lore. Like they're mining too much of their own what if lore.
People eat it up too. They'd be like, yo, did you see the big reveal? What's the big reveal? That, I don't know. Mary Jane is really, I don't know, Craven, or like whatever they.
Yeah, it's gonna be the new Black Cat.
Yeah, word.
Now she's stealing stuff, and it's like, oh brother.
Can I make I'll make a Spider-Man 3 storyline. Oh boy. Let's see. Power says last performance of Kevin Conroy. Oh yeah, in the Suicide Squad game.
Yeah.
Oh, how was that your last performance? I didn't hear good things about the gameplay of that game, and I guess its online features either. Nagi was laughing. I forgot what we were talking about at that point. Power says She-Hulk is canceled. Actually, too much money and poor ratings. VFX not getting paid either. I mean, the VFX of She-Hulk twerking with what was it, Meg Thee Stallion?
100%.
Nagi says weird. Oh, speaking of which, then I only saw it in passing, so I'm not. I saw it on Twitter, and I should have read it, but somebody tried to say that. What's her last name again? Rachel.
Rachel Zegler.
Yeah, Zegler said that she wants to be a Star Wars character, and if that's true, do it, Disney, do it, because you already know that she fits perfectly in with the rest of the stuff. She would bring that perfect annoying balance. She might even be better than Rey, bro. Can you imagine the? Yo, if they do that, yo, if they do that, you know how many channels are going? Yo, Yellow Flash gonna become a multi-millionaire, bro.
Oh yeah,
Yo,
all these people.
it's gonna be over. He's gonna come out with a big gold chain.
All these guys are gonna come up with a Nerdrotic, and
oh man, it's gonna be. It's gonna
Rolls Royce. Critical Drinker is gonna probably, I don't know, own a small village based off of the YouTube ad money from him talking about the new Star Wars movies.
Rachel Zegler
is Rayverse.
The Rayverse with Rachel Zegler in it. Oh my goodness. Yo, that could that's
There's some people saying the movie won't be made, and like some people are saying it's not gonna get made. I'm like,
come on, man.
and that all this press is coming from the director's team and not like the Disney team.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And then Disney goes along with it because they actually signed some papers or something, and they said, "Well, I guess I can't stop her from saying it, but I can't endorse it either," or something. So we haven't seen like Kathleen Kennedy say, "We're definitely making this movie, guys." We haven't heard that in a minute, so we don't know who's getting ahead of the situations or not. But I mean, I would say don't make it. I'm just put it out there, like, you know, maybe don't make this one, guys. You know, just like you're not gonna make Kang, don't make this. Like, just look at what's going on. Like, maybe if this was like a webisode or something, you know, like it was on the web, done in Flash animation. Maybe then this person whose only experience is making documentaries in Pakistan, maybe then you could do it. It's like, okay, I see the Adventures of Ray done by this person with no experience in making adventure entertainment.
You know what?
Let's on this level. Let's have him be like a 6-part Flash animation webisode drawn in Clip Studio on a website on theforce.net. How about that? We just
Sounds that's
if that pops off, then maybe we can like see where we can go after that. Like,
that sounds safe, and you were talking with a lot of common sense, and I agree with my friend Danielle, but I'm feeling very destructive. I want them to make it. I want them to make
certainly
it,
want to make it, so
and you have to and put Rachel Zegler in it.
I can't stand in way people's dreams.
I just want to see. I just want to see the chaos on the internet.
I mean, I guess that's what they want to see too.
I want to see the chaos on the internet.
They think they're gonna profit off the chaos of the internet. Like, there'll be such a backlash to the backlash that they're gonna make zillions of dollars, and it never happens. But I just like, bro, like, you just.
I'm trying to see who's gonna buy the Rolls Royce first off of this news. I just want to see it. Just
like they think like, I don't know. Maybe they think there's some spillover audience. Like, oh, I'm gonna watch the Critical Drinkers episode where he roasted for like a year straight, and then I'm gonna get so curious about the Star Wars Rey movie because it's in my mind 24/7, taking up rent, that I'm actually going to go watch the Star Wars movie 4 or 5 times as if it was the Mark Hamill movie. Just to roast it, I will watch it. And it's like, no, they won't. Like, you just watch the video.
Yeah, because that's how it works. This is what's going to happen.
You're already disrespecting it by watching the negative review. You're not going to reward it with your money. If anything, they're going to go on some site, you know, like, you know, crypto.biz or some whatever, you know, bigmoney.net. I don't know if these sites are real or not, like, but they're probably going to watch the movie there.
This is what can happen. Critical Drinker and Yellow Flash and all them, they gonna make the videos, and I'm gonna turn on my notifications, and I'm gonna watch every single one of them, and I'm still not gonna watch the movie.
Because some people told me that too. They're like, "Oh, if you watch these roast videos, those are the people still watching the movie because they want to watch it to see."
Yeah, they can take the pain. And
I'm like,
for me.
That? People do that? I thought people just watch the video and then wait until it comes on magically on some streaming service, or they watch it on like whatever, like you know, cryptoscam.biz. They watch it in some weird Russian website with the ads on top of the video and shit.
On the GeoCities.
Yeah, some guy filming it on his Android, you know, his Google 7 phone like this. And they watch it in some Zanga website from Russia. That's what I thought they were doing. I didn't know people were actually like watching the Critical Drinkers review and then they go watch the Marvels.
I don't think that's
at it and then go back and watch more videos to know what he was talking about. I'm like, are they doing that really? Are they really doing that?
I'm satisfied with the Critical Drinker video. That's all. That's the entertainment I need. I'm good on that. I mean, the real entertainment that I need is actual good entertainment. But if y'all gonna give us bad entertainment, I'll just watch their take on it and then just keep it moving. Because I don't really. Like, people be like, you didn't give it a chance. So the trailer was enough. You didn't watch the Marvel, Sean. The trailer was enough. I dictated from the trailer.
It's gonna be on Disney Plus in like 4 weeks.
Yeah, there you go. But it's funny because I'm down to not even doing that because I still haven't seen
Yeah,
Ant
yeah, yeah.
Man.
Who cares?
I'm like, oh, Ant Man's out. I'm like, word.
People, the roasting of it is funnier than or more
Yes,
entertaining than the actual movie.
exactly.
So they just stop at the roasting. It's not like free advertisement for the movie.
Yeah, it was just
Like they say, negative. All press is good press, guys. And it's like, really? Is it? Is it really? Is it?
that
I
can't be
mean,
true because if that was, I would have
that
seen all them videos and then why I haven't watched why I haven't watched any of these movies yet.
I guess controversy creates some cash because then people just talk about the Marvels and maybe not some indie movie that might be better. It just takes up a lot of like conversation space that would be better served to something else. But it's still not going to make the amount of money to make up for the budget they spent making it. Right?
No.
It's not going to cover the cost of like the Marvels cost like what, $300 million to make, $400 million.
Yes.
You know,
300
people
mil.
arguing about the quality of this film on YouTube isn't going to save them because they spent $400 million in the movie. If there's anybody angry about the movie watching YouTube videos and watches it out of curiosity,
Mm-hmm.
that's not enough people to make like a profit of like $1 billion or whatever they want to make. Like, you
Clearly
actually
not.
still have to make a good movie that people want, that everybody wants to see. Controversy creates cash, but not that much. It creates interest, but
I'm sure they'll say
not
like,
not not, not really.
you guys didn't watch it because you were istphobe, this, that, and third. I'm like, listen, I don't have to be istphobe anything. I saw the fight scene with Rat-a-tat-tat in Marvels, and I was like, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean the clips that they leak, the clips that they put out aren't very good. And having a controversy about this goofy stuff in the movie isn't going to make you watch it out of hate. Because I'm going to hate watch it.
Yeah, I'm not hate watching it.
I'm
Listen,
just going to watch a few videos and then I'm just going to watch something else. I'm going to watch some anime. I'm going to go back to whatever, drawing comic books. I'm
exactly.
going to go
Listen,
and
I
do whatever the hell else I do.
useful
Yeah,
things that you need to do to get ahead in life instead of wasting your time watching. I learned my lesson from She-Hulk and Resident Evil Netflix. Okay,
yeah. Maybe a sliver of the audience with like throwaway money will go and like watch the movie for fun, drunk, but not really like the fan base of those people. Like, in the chat,
mm-hmm.
somebody says if Victoria Alonso could promote some other movie on the red carpet on the sneak, what's this say? Then Charlene could sneak an interview with CNN. Oh, I see. Yeah. So it's possible. It's just her promo team is like, this movie's not going to get made. We got to push the idea of this movie getting made on the public right now. So then it has to become a thing. It pressures Disney to become a thing. Maybe they saw like they're willing to cancel Jonathan Majors. They're not making a few movies.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different situation, but still. Maybe DC was like, oh, we wrote off the Batgirl movie. We're canceling some of these projects
Right.
over at Warner Brothers. So maybe like the agent is like, they might stop this Ray movie from being made. And we signed the contract like, months ago, weeks ago, or a year ago. So let's put out some feelers. Like in the next year, you're really excited to get to work on this film so that it kind of reminds Disney, like, hey, we had a deal. Hey, now if you cancel me, you look bad because, I'm saying this movie's going to get made. And if you back out now, you're giving in to the trolls. And then they hope Disney will be like, all right, fine, make the movie. All right. Because Disney, I haven't seen like, I don't know, maybe I haven't seen it. I haven't seen Disney like double down and be like, all right, we're making this movie. I can't wait. But maybe they are. I don't know. I don't really care. Either way, I'm gonna laugh. So, and I'm not gonna watch it. Some baby says, when I need a laugh, I'll watch the next video. Yeah, you just watch the next
Yeah.
video for free.
And I
Yeah,
assure you, there will be no shortage because you know these people work fast.
yeah.
They're gonna be 10 videos up tomorrow about
Just watch the video. You get entertainment value from the videos, right? And the streams.
Yeah.
Medians on, they roast it, they tell some jokes. It's probably better than some stand-up specials that are on Netflix, like some of the jokes that they make about these movies, and it's for free.
Free.
You
So
know,
the
you might
free
have to endure
comedy.
like you might have to endure some ads. You might have to endure some super chats that interrupt the flow of the video. Some guys spends like $70 to say waka waka or something like that. And they're like, bro, that's what you wrote, and they have to pretend it's cool and play the horn and all that. And it's like, could you just ask a question? Give him something to work with, but it's still like a 2 hour, 3 hour stream of entertainment.
Right.
You watch the Marvels, it's just like enhanced interrogation techniques from the government or something. That's just like torture.
Man.
Some baby says, "Did you hear Godzilla minus color will be in U.S. theaters on the 26th? So it's
Oh
gonna put it
yeah.
out in black and white."
Yeah. I heard about that.
I never really got into the black and white thing. Like they had tried to put out Mad Max, the black and white cut, and I'm just like, whatever.
They did?
I think they tried,
For
but
Fury Road?
yeah. They were like, oh, and I'm like,
But I mean the beauty of Mad Max was kind of like how he did that whole orange color palette. Well, whatever, man.
right. And I guess like the original Godzilla was a black and white, so maybe they're trying to like harken back to those days.
Yeah. How
It's
much did that
fine.
movie make?
But I feel like if it's going to be in color, they should just make it in color, in black and white. I'm sorry, if it's going to be in black and white, make it like that in the beginning. But if it's in color, then it's in black and white. I don't know. Like I could do that on my own TV.
Yeah.
I could just desaturate my TV and then.
So it made. Let me see. I'm gonna get up out of here soon, but
Some baby says new torture methods with horrible superhero movies. Yeah, pretty much.
yeah, I'm good. I'm good on all that. Like I don't need to see any. I don't need to see any of this. I probably won't even watch Deadpool 3. That's how bad it is. Like
I kind of avoid it because you go on Twitter. It's like, do you actually have fans of this stuff? Like, they'll like.
there's one more point I wanted to mention before I get up off of here, but to answer my own question, Godzilla minus one apparently it was cheaper than 15 mil. It was like 12 mil to make.
Yeah.
And worldwide it is 98 million.
Money's on the screen. No big stars. Usually when you get a big star in these movies, they're like $20 million. Like what Robert Downey Jr. was getting paid for these Iron Man movies was like wild. Like $20 million off the top. Like whatever Jim Carrey gets from movies, it's about the same.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever is what's on the screen. Godzilla minus one, it's like I don't know, they're getting paid like probably getting paid like a year's salary for like a regular job, like
Right.
40 grand.
Maybe that's quite possible. So
yeah, the star of the movie probably got like 40 grand and like a bus pass to the set. You get a free McDouble meal or
possibly.
Get the Japanese Denny's discount.
Somebody says they're bringing it back over because Japan got the black and white version to celebrate Godzilla's anniversary, and it did well.
All right.
I mean, I did see one of my mutuals on Twitter said they were gonna go see it in black and white. So
Okay.
I was gonna say, just to close the topic about do these movies help the comic books and vice versa. There is a comics Twitter, and I'm not talking about between Comicsgate and their their fighter, like the comic pros, and that whole like adversarial relationship. There's there is a weird part of comics Twitter that young people are still into. And it's very peculiar to look at because I'm like, y'all are definitely supposed to be watching anime. What are you doing here? And they're very toxic. They're very toxic. And they
Yeah,
stand by like adaptations and stuff. I guess like these bad adaptations along with these questionable comic books, like it's for them. But obviously there's not enough of them to
right.
warrant
Like all the
any.
weird X-Men spin-offs
Yeah.
with like I don't know the bizarre. They're all fans of it. Like all the weird characters they created in the past like 7 years. They're into it. They follow the storylines. It's a very small section of Twitter, but they, you
They're
know,
very passionate.
yeah, they're very passionate about the Krakoa storyline, and I guess in the end, if you have enough money and enough material out, you do cultivate an audience.
Right.
If you want an audience of like strange people who read like these comics that don't really entertain a lot of people, like they've able to harness that audience. They've actually built up this audience of like people who actually, if the new Warriors dropped, they would give it a chance and
Yeah.
probably think it was okay. They probably would try to get screen time to be like a actual official member of the Avengers or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I guess it just works on some people.
It works on some people and they there for it, but yeah, I guess it's not enough for them. I just
No,
I and this is more of a rhetorical conversation, but I'm just like, as a business, as pretending to be a person of business, and I'm like, I don't know why you guys want to keep doing this, where now it's gotten to the point where it's like bad movies are ricocheting off of stories and comics that didn't hit. You guys, especially the MCU, they about to have like, I don't know, the worst collection of Marvel heroes of all time for the new Avengers movie if they make that. You know who won't be at the theater? This guy.
somebody says, "Are you sure they aren't bots or Twitter accounts created by
They
these big
they might
companies?"
be.
Might be.
Sometimes I think they are, because I will say that I don't know. There's some of them. So well, I mean, there's a lot of people on Twitter. Throwing out the threats. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
Could
go
be. Yeah, it could be like one person who's running an army of bots.
right. Like, oh, screw you if
So
you don't like this. Go harm yourself. Blah blah blah. Craziness.
it's possible.
Could be bots. Could be bots.
But that's what Marvel's become, just an army of bots to be their real, true fans.
I know there's some people who are definitely bots. Like, where you know what? No one. You see a definite bot. People who don't even fight back. They just like post.
Yeah.
Like
Then you
like
talk back to them and they just disappear
yeah.
all the time. It's possible. They got a lot of numbers in their profile name. That's another indication.
Yeah.
Rex 745-732-5 is like that's a bot straight up. Yeah. Also the maybe some of them are real because like somebody was watching Gotham Knights on the CW. I mean, like, it's not like you had a 0.0 rating, like maybe like 100,000 people in the entire United States were watching it, but and maybe out of those 100,000, maybe like 7,000 thought it was actually cool enough to keep watching
Somebody thought it was fire.
and was like, "Oh man, they canceled that. I liked it." Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe. I don't know why. I don't know who, but I guess if you're aiming for like 300 million people with a TV or something and you get 7,000, you might hit 7,000. What could I say? I don't know why, but at the end of the day, that's not why they made a whole TV show, just to get like 7,000 people to be their true fans.
Yeah, no.
They don't break out the catering truck and sign contracts and run promos on TV and have them do promos and press just to get like 90,000 people in the country to watch crap. They don't do it. Nike says the drawing's looking great. Who is she?
I have no idea. I was just practicing. Sometimes you just have to like keep
Well,
your.
I guess now that you have the form, you can turn it into someone
Oh yeah, yeah,
later.
yeah, yeah. I could turn.
Now it says people almost never respond to me when I confront them on Twitter. Well, they hit and run. That's the thing about social media. You're never expected to. You can do what you want. It's like you can stand your ground or not. That's why they're emboldened. You met these people in real life, they wouldn't even
Yeah,
dare say anything.
that is a lot of times like somebody will disagree with me, like even on my own page, and I'll just like pretend they're not there.
A lot of famous people have the phenomenon where it's like you say some crap to them, and then they actually get your DM and say, "Hey, buddy, I saw your tweet. Why'd you say that?" They'd be like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm your biggest fan." Usually happens. It happens. Some baby says, "How do they pay those actors? Is the CW still worthless?"
I don't know.
I
Can I
guess
see the
because they had a
the
yeah,
paycheck of the dude who played what was his name? Turner Hayes.
Turner Hayes.
Yeah,
Yikes.
Batman's son.
His
Right next,
adopted
right.
son
His fake adopted
with no
son.
wife. Okay, bro. The What happened was, I think with the CW is that it's actually that was born out of a merger between Paramount and CBS or something like that, because that's
Mm-hmm.
what the C stands for, and the W, I forget what that stands for. Or is it Warner Brothers and CBS Paramount? So that's the CW.
Yeah.
So I guess they're just sucking off the money off of whatever the parent companies are doing. CBS, Paramount, Viacom, and CBS. I guess they're just borrowing, their from their sugar daddy
Right.
in order and to fund their own lifestyle. Like the sugar daddy's just paying for it, hoping that it'll pay off one day. I think that it came out that it never made a profit, and they actually owed money to people. And there's a company called Nexstar
Mm.
that bought the company for like $1, and they just assumed the debt of the CW and the infrastructure of the CW. So
Sheesh.
now they're running different kind of programming now. Now they're running like Canadian reruns from other from TV. They're running Canadian dramas that are already produced and put out in Canada
Mm-hmm.
about doctors and lawyers. Like they're fake. These lighthearted mysteries and TV shows like like a show like Castle or Bones or some shit like that from you know
Right.
the Canada has their own fake version of that. A doctor show about the handsome doctor or something.
Yeah.
They just put shows like that out now, I think. And that show, The Chosen, the Bible show,
Yes.
they put that out because it was previously produced online or whatever. So they're putting it out at no cost, but it's still like has production value. And they're finding like, yeah, we get the same amount of revenue as we did watchers as those superhero shows. So it's just, and then they found out when they actually did a report that the CW audience was actually 55 years old,
Oh
and
yes, I
not the
remember
and not
this.
the not the young TikTok people they were looking for. So you had a bunch of people like AARP level to like senior citizens trying to understand the thruple storyline in Riverdale, and it wasn't like the young teen hip, 18 to 25 demo they were going for.
Right.
So Nexstar just bought it for $1, assumed the debt, and are now making shows about doctors and mysteries and uh, stuff you would see on the USA Network like 10 years ago. So that's the story of the CW. Sad.
Tragic.
Anyway, this is our Discord. If you guys like to join the Discord, you can look at the description link.
Yep. 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 For anybody on you, whoever's watching on YouTube right now, I gotta fix the. I'll deal with the link situation.
Right.
Um.
But definitely check out the Discord. If you know the prompt, you could pop it in the chat. But anyway, this is Shaquanverse.
Yes. So this is in the poster art. We do this every Thursday. Y'all already know. Shaquan versus doing. I'm not sure what this character is. It's very well rendered. Wakanda
Yeah.
Forever. No, I'm kidding. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Mufa's back.
Mufa.
I think this was this character that was gonna get placed into the background that we saw last week. So if I scroll up, I think it's this background. So looks like he's rendering that. Diet J. Diet J is doing one heck of a Goku right now.
Goku looking like Dark Goku. Like, look at his eyes.
Oh no, he. Oh, I saw his eyes wrong. I thought like the whites with the eyeballs, but still though, he's looking. Oh man, he's looking
It's
tough.
like Dark Goku. It's like
Hold on, Nick.
Goki.
Wait, what did he do here? Hold on, he said spoiler.
Whoa.
Whoa. Started working on Goku and took a little break to draw something else. Well, it's a Bleach spoiler. Oh, I don't know. Did I just spoil somebody on Bleach? My bad. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, it's been out for like 100 years, so.
But they do have that new series that's out.
Oh, the new one. Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
one's
my bad. Anybody on Twitch and YouTube, my bad if I just.
okay.
Oh yeah, here he goes. He plopped it right in.
Was this moving before? No, it wasn't. It was.
No. We're thinking
Oh, that
about
was
something.
speaking of it.
Yeah, we're thinking about something else. All right. And this was just me. I was just plopping in my. I posted this up today. If you guys want, it's very similar to the Hades video I had before, but this is a little more. It's a shorter, concentrated video, and I re-edited it. If you guys want to check it out, it was the last video I posted. Tomorrow I should be posting a new video. It's gonna be a I don't want to call it retrospective. I guess it's just a rewind to winning the getting fourth place in the Riververse contest last year. So I'm gonna post that tomorrow. Nagi said that's a sick Goku. Yeah, that Goku was pretty fire, man.
It's
Freaking
sick,
that was
bro.
Diet J, right? Diet J is
Diet J
yeah, my man Diet J is on it.
and Mufa and all these guys. Talent in the Discord. Do you have the prompt for the chat at the Discord? Do you know the
I
exclamation point?
unfortunately do not
Well, we
at the moment,
have
but
in the
yeah,
chat. Summer Baby says, "Yeah, for $1 with their debt, and Nextstar is switching the Christian programming. The Chosen, yeah. Oh, right, yeah. So you know what's going on.
right,
You know what's going on because they saw the report. They were like, look, 55-year-olds are watching this show, like watching this channel for some reason. They're the only ones who were like able to understand that you got to turn on the television and the show comes on whether you like it or not. Like it's not like a streaming service or anything. So they're like, well, we can spend a boatload of money trying to convince young people to watch things live, or we could just cater to the audience we already have.
right,
Therefore, you have shows like The Chosen. You have shows that are like some, some lighthearted lawyer drama. Here comes this young lawyer and the handsome prosecutor, and they do battles, but they're secretly in love with each other. And this is the kind of shows that they're going to come up with.
yeah,
So they're not going to come up with any more like superhero special effects shows or, you know, shows like Riverdale where they're all trying to sleep with each other and kill each other or whatever they're doing on that show.
ridiculousness.
Just standard boomer TV.
On the Twitch side, some baby says, "Will you draw any characters when Hades 2 comes out?" I mean, I know I did. Well, I know you've seen the piece already where I did. What's her name? Melano, which is Zagreus' sister, in that portrait piece. So I drew a portrait. I might do another Hades piece when it comes out. I'll wait till it comes out. I got other stuff that is, you know, our stuff.
Right.
That to get through.
Yeah. Yeah. And talk about the Angel Studios. I guess they're probably they're the best Christian studio
Yes,
by far. Like, I mean,
yes, yes.
their stuff looks well produced. You know, I saw The Sound of Freedom. It's
Mhm,
obviously, in terms of quality, is defeating. I mean, I guess they didn't make it, but they actually, like, I guess they rescued it, saved it. They're gonna make a sequel or whatever.
mhm. They had
Their
that
production.
movie, The Shift, right? I didn't see
Yeah,
it.
I didn't see it either. I
I'll check
heard it
it
was,
out.
but I guess because before it used to be like, let's just say, like, the Christian shows were movies were not of the most utmost quality. Like, you had the Left Behind movie with Nicolas Cage. I mean, this is kind of stuff that's not gonna, it's gonna be
Okay, hold on,
laughed
hold
at.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. There was a Left Behind movie with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, they tried to reboot Left Behind without Kirk Cameron, and they had it with Nicolas Cage, and they were hoping like this would be the start of the new like Left Behind franchise,
Word?
and it bombed. Yes, exactly. I might watch it out of curiosity. I might hate. I'm not gonna hate watch. I'm just gonna watch it because I think it might actually be funny. When you watch a Marvel movie, it's just gonna be bad, and you're gonna hurt yourself.
Right. Oh,
So maybe says, yeah, they're making great stuff. My mom saw The Shift and enjoyed it.
okay. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah,
You know what? You know what I'm saying? What?
because I'm into entertainment. Like, I'm like, I'll watch anything. I don't really care. I'm not like, oh my god, I won't watch this. Like, I'll watch it. You know why? They threw so many people out of Hollywood. Now they're starting to get quality. Like they threw all the Christians out of Hollywood. Now they're like they're making their own movies, and they're afraid to kick out more.
Yeah.
Let's kick out Chris Pratt and that Reacher guy too. And they're like, whoa, 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 go.
Doing too much.
Studios are like, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not be hasty. This is all the money I got. They're holding this whole thing together, right?
Somebody says Angel Studios rescued Sound of Freedom after Disney dumped it.
Yeah, that's a true story. So they actually
Disney
had
dumped it?
Yes. What happened was I believe, and maybe it could be corrected in the chat, that I guess Fox made the movie and then Disney bought Fox, and then they were like, we're not releasing this film. So then they were like, well, let's get the film. So they bought it back from them, or they waited till they had the option to, or something like that. So they got it back, released it on their own, and then had a mini sleeper hit of the summer. Meanwhile, Disney put out movies that lost money in proportion to their budget. So while like Ant-Man probably made more money than Sound of Freedom on the books, it lost money because it cost more to make. So Disney could actually had a hit if they released Sound of Freedom and gave it the push that they wanted.
And that's the movie they. All right, never mind. But
Disney would not allow Jim Caviezel to promote it in the way that would make it a hit. You know what I mean? To the audiences that would make it a sleeper hit of the summer. They're not going to have him going on, whatever, the Glenn Beck show or anything like that. It's not going to happen. They're just like, back in the day, just be like, make money however you want. I don't care what movie it is. Just make money. I don't care. Just go any way you have to. Just hustle up this cash for me.
now they're like, not with our political enemies.
Yeah, I have to watch every single moment of the marketing plan. I have to. They'd be like, if you have to, like, I don't know, strip naked and run down like 18 bowling alleys, like, they'd just be like, do it, whatever. Now it's just like, oh, don't talk to that man. Don't do this.
Right.
It's embarrassing. Yeah, so maybe says Hollywood doesn't like Jim Caviezel, but they still respect Jim Caviezel, I guess, on some level, because they want him to show. He knows he shows up on time,
Yeah.
and he has an audience, I guess. But I guess the more he expresses his views, the more they are like, well, let's not deal with it. Which I guess he has to like say his views and then disappear for a while.
This is what I believe.
To pop back in. I went away. I came back. Meanwhile, if you're like supporting whatever the Klaus Schwab agenda, you get to talk every single day incessantly, and nothing happens to you.
Yeah, as long as you eat the bugs and
yeah,
don't own what you buy. What video game company said that recently?
I don't know.
One of them companies. You shouldn't get used to. I forgot what it was. It was a recent story, but
they stuff if you're rich enough, if you're like mobbed up with them, but just you won't. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, like the video. It
Yep,
helps us
yep.
in the algorithm. Check out redcombook.com, our 88-page graphic novel. It's a science fiction retelling of the Little Red Riding Hood fairy tale in action form. Okay, check out our anime-inspired graphic novel.
Please do.
Ubisoft. That's what Para 900 says. It was
Oh,
Ubisoft.
Nagin and Power said it. Okay. Yes,
Okay.
yes, those guys, those guys.
There's certain actors though that make that they Jim Caviezel did the Person of Interest. They love the show. People love the show.
Hmm.
You know, if they made another Passion of the Christ, it would make money. It right now it'd probably make more money than Passion of the Christ one.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I see people, I like to watch things. I like to observe.
Yeah.
And I'm sensing that like the Christian thing and the Bible thing and sort of like this whole Midwest country vibe, the heartland, what do we call it?
Yes.
People are seeing monies in there, you know. There's a
It's
whole and there's a few like, scams going on. I don't know, like to kind of like everybody's running to Nashville. Every like failed rocker and failed heavy metal guy and failed rapper that like couldn't make it in California are like moving to Nashville and trying to be a country star now. Like
right.
now I'm the country rap guy. I used to be in a rock band, but now I'm a bluegrass guy, and I'm like, oh Lord, not now. It's like the liberal stuff got oversaturated. Now you're trying to become like I don't know, conservative coded, even though you're not a conservative. So there's big money to be made out there.
It's definitely
It's an untapped marketplace.
it
It's,
is.
it's untapped, but they see
I
like
never.
this.
I guess I never really thought about it that way too. It is an
I think it's
untapped.
growing. Like you see all the celebrities now, they're like, I'm going to church.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan's going to church.
You know what I'm saying?
Liam Neeson, I think, was trying promoting some Bible app. He's like, I'm narrating the Bible app. It helps me every day, get in touch with the Lord or whatever. There's like a lot of stuff going on there. I don't know. Maybe somebody in the chat could disagree. I don't know, but I'm seeing like there's a lot of, that show Yellowstone. They got like 12 like spinoffs and the Reacher show. All the music is like I'm into the blues. Like everybody, every character is into like the blues and like old school rock. They're trying to cater to some kind of an alternate audience. Let's just put it that way.
I will say, me personally, myself, as a Christian, I think it's funny that like they never really had like cool like any cool, like any fire entertainment.
Right. Like when they try to do it on their own.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have a budget or the acting was kind of
like wonky and all. Not even wonky, just straight up bad.
Yeah, bad, or the music sucked. It was like out of some kind of royalty-free website, like the music.
Right. And I'm just like, all right.
The soundtracks was from premiumbeats.com, the lower tier subscriptions version.
So then it's like, it's kind of, Sound of Freedom is a very serious movie about a serious topic, obviously.
Yeah, that's the one that's like, oh wow, we can actually have like,
but
actual camera movement.
I understand why it's happening because,
yeah, Hollywood's just getting creepy.
Yeah, Hollywood is
unwatchable.
Yeah, they're getting creepy. They want to stay creepy for some reason.
Yeah, it's scaring people back to the church.
Yeah, and then you got you can't. I don't know if you think certain things, you can hardly send your kids to school. So it's a whole like shift happening or something. And
right, like Kat Von D, she was like all up into witchcraft, all up into like, and now she's like, I'm going to church.
Right. Freaking just. I haven't and I wouldn't be featuring it on this channel. I had a drawing that I have to fit. Well, let me see. No, I'm posted up. I don't care.
What was this? The like the guy from Reacher, the actor. Alan Richson.
Yeah.
He had like there's some video. I saw a clip of it on Twitter, and it was like him going and talking about the Bible and giving Bible quotes for like had to be like 10 minutes, and saying like, oh, they say I shouldn't do this show, but I'm just an actor, but I'm really like into church,
Right.
and it's like they know there's an alternate audience to what else they're putting out, and I think that's like a growing industry, and in some cases it's the only thing holding the networks together.
Yeah.
Like if they could hook up Tom Selleck to like some kind of eternal life support machine, they would keep Blue Bloods on for the next 30 years. That guy Reacher, he better like, I don't know, he probably have him to a lifetime slave contract or something to be on that show, because they made that Lord of the Rings show and they're losing money. Meanwhile, with the Reacher show, they're gaining money. So
That look. See, and I still got to check out the Reacher show.
Power 900 says everyone is pulling up Pastor Mace. That's a good one. It's true. He's talking about Mace, the rapper. Remember?
Yes.
He was like rapping with like about money and hoes, and
Yeah, my man did the switch over.
yeah, he did switch over. You're gonna start seeing that too. Just look out for it. Right now, there's a sweet spot a little bit.
There you go.
Some of that country channel's looking kind of weird right now, but it's gonna get funny. Also, this is you drawing.
This is my
David and Goliath.
Yeah, my rendition of David and Goliath.
Oh, you look at that. That's legit.
And I'll probably make a different channel and post that up there. But yeah. I was like, yo, yeah, make something cool.
I think there's gonna be like a show about King David.
That's what there's a show about King Saul, apparently.
I don't know about that one. I mean, I could look it up. I'll just write.
That's the one that
David TV show, and then I'll put in news.
Power says interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
Variety says this was from yesterday. Amazon teams with Wonder Project on faith-based films and shows. Streamer orders House of David to series. It tells the story of David, the biblical figure who would eventually rise to become the king of the Israelites.
Okay.
It says, per the official description, the show follows the once mighty King Saul as he falls victim to his own pride. A prophet prepares to overthrow him, anointing the outcast shepherd boy David as a second king. As Saul's fury grows, David navigates love, violence, and politics in the court of the very man he's destined to replace. 2 kings, 1 kingdom, the outcome is war. So I guess they're going to go at him as a young guy all the way up until like, I guess the show ends. I guess they hope it.
I guess. I'm going to tell y'all what. David's story is pure chaos. That would actually make a good show. It's pure chaos. There's war. There's action. There's love. There's violence. Yeah. It's insane. So I guess okay. I mean, I guess.
Hey, it's interesting. It's happening. It's a good thing. It's fun. It's interesting.
I guess this piece will be right on time.
Yeah, instead of this fake fantasy, what do they call it? Like all these whack ass Witcher shows, like the blood omen, like right, and that crap. And of course, wait till they do the Marvel adaptation of the Bible.
No, I will personally not allow this.
Marvelization of the Bible, the Netflixization.
I'm good.
Be careful.
I'm good.
Switch over.
This is the zoom in, by the way. I didn't finish
the episode where King David says it's time to take the chip, guys. Or when the actor goes on Jimmy Kimmel and says, "The show's a big hit. It's time to take the chip, guys."
Nah, I'm good. We're not doing this today.
Just be careful. Just keep your eye out. You know what I'm saying?
No, but that's a good warning. That's a good warning because
you never know. Sneak up on you.
Yeah, I don't
get co-opted, right?
Yeah, we gotta watch out for that one. And thank you, Nagi. I'm by the way, for these series illustrations, uh some baby, why would you do that to me? He said King David on the Twitch side. Some baby said King David says use black girl magic.
You never know.
Ah,
Maybe season 1 and 2 is cool, and then they season 3 switch up on you.
I'm protesting, bro. There's gonna be problems. Yeah, we not doing this today. So yeah, I'm gonna make this black and white for obvious reasons because there's only so much that I could research on time, place, era, and what's that thing people love to complain about every day? Skin color, right? So
Right.
I was like, it takes place in Israel, right? So I would go by what I would naturally think, but I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna give anybody the. I'm not even gonna give anybody the satisfaction. This is going to be monochromatic, y'all. And if I do any more, it's all going to be monochromatic. I don't care who it is. Samson, Jesus, Peter, monochromatic. Yeah. Anyway, black girl magic.
Oh man, hilarious. Yeah, guys, it's been real.
Yep.
Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for participating in the chat for this fun conversation about the media and where we're going. It helps us navigate this weird landscape as we continue to produce our projects and whatnot.
Right. And let's see what this
Check.
year brings. We'll be bringing some more thunder. You know, I don't know what the rest of you know, I wish the best for all people doing indie projects and stuff. I don't know what Hollywood's doing. They on their own with that. You on your own, JoJo, as they would say in Bad Boys 1. If y'all even see that, you on your own with that. But yeah, I gotta get to. I didn't even realize the time. I'm bugging. Okay, y'all. So we will see you next week
Indeed.
with some more convo and arts. All right, y'all. Peace out.